Hi guys, I received a message from NoSarge118 saying about dual booting Windows and Linux. He wants to dual boot Windows and Linux on the same disk, on the same PC I assume, and he's worried about it messing up his Windows. I made a video previously on something called Wooby which makes it really easy. Unfortunately it didn't work for me in my virtual machine, so I couldn't show you Ubuntu starting up. Now I refuse to be beaten, so I'm going to do the manual method of installing it, and I'm going to show NoSarge again how to do it. And of course, don't forget to back up all your data before you do this. Now here is the Windows XP clean install I have, and I've downloaded the Ubuntu image, and I've put it already into this virtual disk. But what you'll want to do is burn this onto a CD and get ready to restart your computer. So I'm now going to reset this computer, and I'm going to boot from the CD. CD-ROM drive. Actually no, I'm not, sorry about that. I'm just going to turn this off, because what I need to do is add a drive to the virtual PC, because I can't partition. What we need to do is partition it, and I can't actually do this in the virtual machine. This may have been why my other one screwed up a little bit. So I'm making a new disk and I'm calling it Ubuntu. So what I'm actually going to do is install it on a separate disk, so it doesn't resize the first one. But what it will do on your computer is resize your hard disk and then put it on the end. So I'll show you how to do it anyway, but it didn't work for me when I just tried it. So oops, oh no. Not very quick on the old escape button there. Gotta try again. Here we go. So we're starting or installing Ubuntu. So hopefully this will start up, because yeah, you can't actually resize partitions inside virtual machines because they use special disks. So I've got no choice but to put it onto another disk to show you it working. And what partitioning is basically splitting up a disk, or resizing a section of a disk or the whole disk in order to leave some free space to use elsewhere, and it will show up as an extra disk. So all we're trying to do is resize our whole Windows disk and make it a lot smaller, and then we're going to put Linux on the end and treat that as a separate disk. Windows, however, won't view Linux as a separate disk because it uses a completely different partition table, or it uses ex2 and ex3 or something. So the Windows partition you have won't view any files that are on Linux, but Linux can do Windows, I think. Excuse me. So I will not be beaten. I want this to work. I want to be able to show you Linux in a dual boot. So there's no need to download any partition managers or anything, because Ubuntu actually lets you do it through its install. So, and there's an error starting the GNOME settings. Oh well. Some things such as themes, sounds, or background settings may not work correctly. Oh dear. Full of errors today, aren't we? Right, so we're going to go to install. Double click. Screen recorder seems to follow me, which is good. Have you double clicked? Here we go. Install. So, ready to install. English. Go. Oh, whoops. It didn't follow me. I didn't click. That's why. So I've gone forwards. And it doesn't matter about this time. And the language we don't have to worry about either. I'm just showing you the partitioner, so it should start up now. There we go. Setting up the partitioner. Okay, so eventually it will show guided. Eventually. There we go. Guided. Resize SCSI2, which is my main drive, and it says and use the freed space. So it says new partition size, and we've got a slider here, and it says it's going to leave 76% of your drive, assuming that you've formatted and checked it for errors. Not formatted, sorry, defragged it and checked it for errors, and then we're going to use the free space, this side of it, to put Linux on. So I'm going to actually choose guided, use entire disk, and then use SCSI 010, because I can't partition it because it will come with an error. But you'll want to go guided and then choose 76% or whichever, because it says SCSI is going to resize. It was going to resize the main one, and it says that my drive is 8.6 gigabytes, so make sure you see the amount of drive you have, amount of space you have on your drive, and then consider how much space you want to keep so you might want to drag this a little bit further to keep more space on your drive. But anyway, I'm going to now go forwards, and it should set up and now format my disk so it will work, hopefully. Computing the new partitions. So what it will do with yours, it will resize your partition, format the free space, and then install itself onto the free space. If I show you it on mine, it wouldn't do it. We don't want to migrate anything, so we're just going to go forwards, because it just imports it, I think, from another Linux thing. So I'm going to call myself Duncan. Oops, call myself Dunk, that's fine. Choose password, password of A. Make sure I remember A is the password. And I'm ready to install, so it's now going to install. It sets up the partitioner. I think yours will resize the disk with that guided thing straight away, but this is just going to install everything now. So here we go, it's formatting my partition, which is the entire disk, second disk, and it's put in ext3 file systems, which is why it won't get read by Windows XP. I'm just going to move this across to see the time I've used, and it will now install. So once it's done, I will show you the grub, which is the bootloader, once it's installed everything, and I'll boot into XP and then show you Ubuntu, and hopefully it will work this time. So I'll see you in a bit. Hi guys, we're at 95%, so I thought I'd start the video again. It's just installed the grub bootloader. I'm hoping this doesn't take too long. It's installed everything a lot faster than Wooby did. Wooby took ages, took like half an hour. This has taken about 10 minutes. So, are we going to get anywhere? Right, 96%, 97%. So we're still inside Ubuntu. I'll just basically restart and then show you it running Windows XP first, and then we'll boot into Ubuntu, and hopefully I won't get an error this time. I'll be very pleased if it works. We're going to restart now, and we'll see if the grub has been put into the bootloader, meaning we can switch between. Oh, here we go, shutting down. Meaning we can switch between Windows and Linux. Please remove the disk, close the tray if any, and press enter. Well, we don't need to do that because it doesn't default to the disk. So here we go, and we have it, and it says other operating systems, XP Professional. So we can click that, start it normally because I turned it off prematurely while we were installing Ubuntu, and hopefully we can see it booting XP. So as you can see, it's booted XP fine. I've had to install it on a separate disk, like I've said. You'll be able to do this on just one disk, and resizing it, making it a little bit smaller so you can fit Linux on the end. It will do exactly what happened previously, other than it will just show a little bit smaller in Windows, and it will just install it on the end, Linux on the end. Right, so you can see that Windows is working, so I'm just going to do another premature reset, and I'm going to try and boot Ubuntu. Now let's hoping that this works. Enter. No, click enter. Please work, please work. So we're now starting up, loading, and straight away it's actually gone into my proper resolution, well, close to my resolution, and it did this before and then stopped. Oh, it's gone a little bit further this time. It got to about there when I tried the Wooby install and it stopped. So this is the manual install to do it, and it looks like it's going to work for me, which is brilliant. Are we going to get any further? And see, it's fairly easy to do even if you just use the normal Ubuntu thing, just the normal Ubuntu disk. All you need to do is burn the disk and put it into the drive, restart your computer, and you can do it through there. Wooby was just another way to do it. So my username was Dunk, wasn't it? My password was A. There we go. Yay! It's actually booted. Brilliant. And we have a fully installed Linux on a machine, and I haven't been beaten by errors or anything. It's all worked fine, and I'm a very happy man. So if you want to do it manually, then just follow what I've just shown you. Use the Ubuntu disk. I've chosen the Ubuntu desktop. Wooby did the alternate version, I think, so that might have been why it didn't work as well. But anyway, this is installing Linux manually. Thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.